All right, welcome to the InterAccess YouTube channel, interaccess.io. We're going to keep moving forward talking about this, the idea of mortgage in Web3. Now, remember in the previous video, we talked about all the different parts of a mortgage, and now we're going to go through and talk about where Web3, crypto, DeFi might jump in and solve many of the inefficiencies, inconsistencies, all those things. So remember, one of the first pieces of this was we go to a bank to try to get a mortgage, and they're going to ask me for all these forms. They're going to ask me to provide all my financial information, my credit information, and all that. So the way we do it now is either they give me a way to upload a bunch of information or I physically take it there. Things like tax returns, W-2s, 1099s, information about my investment accounts, my brokerage accounts, my retirement plans, my life insurance, all of those things have to go to the bank. And what are they trying to do? Figure out if I'm going to be able to continue to make money and pay this loan. So imagine if instead of that, or this is what will happen, is I will connect to some public blockchain. And this public blockchain will hold a great deal of my information, because let's imagine in the future, and it's probably not too distant future, much of my pay or some of my pay is done on chain. And when I say that, I mean I'm getting paid in something like DAI or USDC that's going directly to my wallet, right? And that can be done as a W-2 employee. It can be done as a 1099 worker. And because of that, much of my tax information will also be on chain. Okay, or I will be able to store some of my tax information on chain. So I will be able to go create an identity. Okay, and this goes somewhat to digital identity. So a on-chain or digital identity here, and I can verify much of my information. I will be able to create this identity and verify much of my information. It'll have things like verified tax return information, verified W-2 information, 1099 information, all of my investment accounts and everything that I can do with an on-chain identity, which is encrypted, safe, secure, all of those things, but it's verified that it's me. Because remember, all the bank is looking for is certain numbers out of all these documents, but they need all these documents and need to verify them, because otherwise I could totally make up the numbers in the documents, and they need to be able to verify them. So that's really what the bank is looking for. They're just looking for certain numbers to hit certain metrics that they have. Otherwise, they're going to deny me the loan. So they're looking for certain numbers. So if I have all this information in my on-chain identity, and part of my on-chain identity, again, is going to have things like my name, possibly my social security number, my employment history. Okay, it's going to have things like my income. And this is all going to be, verifiable information, especially if I'm getting paid on-chain, if I'm getting paid in crypto assets. And this date, I don't think is that far off. If we want to, be very technical now, we all have a digital identity, and it's based on our social security number or our phone number. Right, our social security number gets a tremendous amount of information about us. So if I were to give my social security number to the bank and they had access, they could get a tremendous amount of information about me. My phone number as well. So I give all this information, or I put all this information on chain. Now, ideally, it is kept very safe and secure in a protocol that protects privacy. Okay, now what I do is when the bank says, hey, we need to know if you are able to get this loan, if you're going to have the income or the assets to be able to pay for this loan, then all I have to do is connect my wallet to some application that the bank has. So the bank has some application here that I connect my wallet, I give permission. Now, here's where this gets very important. There's something called ZK proofs, or zero knowledge proofs. Because again, I don't want to necessarily give the bank all my information. All they're doing is making sure that I fit certain criteria. So the bank app can say, okay, based on Adam and his family getting a loan for a $500,000 home, which makes it a $400,000 mortgage, what information do we need? We need to see a certain level of income consistently over some period of time. We need to see a certain level of assets. We need to see a certain employment history. That's all we're looking for. Well, they can write that logic into some sort of application. And that application is going to look at my wallet that's connected and make sure that my information, my data fits what they're looking for. But can they do it in a way where the bank doesn't get all this information about me, where they don't know necessarily everything about my employment history? All they have to see is, does it satisfy their requirements? And that's where zero knowledge proofs come in. Zero knowledge proofs are a way that the bank can verify, this app can verify all this information without actually getting all the information. And without going into how all the details work, because I'm definitely not going to do it justice. The analogy that I was given sounds something like this. Imagine please, that I'm much, much younger, that I am much younger and look much younger, and I'm trying to go into a bar. Now, the bouncer at the bar, the person at the door, is going to ask me for my ID, and I'm going to take out my wallet, I'm going to hand them my driver's license, or I'm going to hand them my passport. In so doing, I'm actually giving that person a pretty decent amount of information about me. They're going to see my name and my birth date and and if it's my driver's license, they're going to see my address and whether or not I'm an organ donor and all these other things about me. Now, they're only going to look for the date, and they're going to compare that date, my birth date, to whatever date it is and say, does Adam's birthday make him over 21? That's all they really care about. They don't care about all the other information about me, but I have to show them that. That's verification. So what a zero knowledge proof basically says is there a way for that bouncer, that person at the door there, to verify that I'm 21 years old, to know that I'm 21 without my having to give up all that information? And what a zero knowledge proof does is it is just code. It's algorithms that are able to say, we're going to encrypt some of this data, but shoot it over the wall to you in a way that you tell us what you're looking for, we tell you if the data fits, and if the data fits, there's a match, but you don't have to know what all the data is, right? So it's just a way to verify things. Again, zero knowledge. The bank doesn't necessarily have to have all the knowledge of all my tax returns and all my 1040s, all my W-2s. They don't have to have all that information about me. All they have to know is, does it satisfy their requirements? And that's where zero knowledge proofs are going to come in. I'm going to be able to just, again, connect my wallet, which has all my information about my on-chain identity, on-chain, has it all on-chain, connect to this app, and within probably 30 seconds, it's going to know, does Adam fit these criteria? Here's our criteria for a loan for this amount. Does Adam fit this criteria, without knowing everything about me? Now, if we can do that, right, then maybe we can take a look at the bank later. But for right now, I just wanted to talk about this one aspect of the mortgage, the idea of getting all this information on-chain. Now, part of my on-chain identity as well is going to be credit, which we're going to discuss next in a little while. But part of my on-chain identity is going to be credit. But most of it is going to be this type of information. And if I can get this information in a format that, again, I can keep safe and secure on-chain, and I can just connect my wallet, that's where zero knowledge proofs are going to come in. And the bank is going to be able to hopefully approve me without getting all this information, without my having to send all this information in an insecure way, and hope that the bank, keeps it all secure for them, and hope that the 5 or 6 people it goes through at the bank are all going to keep my information secure and not decide to share it with anyone, either on purpose or accidentally. So that is a little bit about where zero knowledge proofs are going to take us in this long mortgage process.